WWE is pissed about NXT. WWE stars want Def Rebel gone. 2 AEW shows taken off air. And more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Get exclusive bonus videos over at patreon.com/WrestleTalk. Do you have 3 to 5 years in the music, media, or entertainment industries? Do you have a deep understanding of and experience in the media and entertainment industry? And most importantly, do you like really generic wrestling entrance themes that all sound the same? Because you could become WWE's new Director of Music Strategy and Operations. WWE have got many things right in the last few years, creating top stars, signing Netflix deals, and doing record gates. But one widely agreed upon negative has been that all the entrance music, well, it kinda sucks. Because of a bad record label contract from 2016, WWE started to phase out all of their really good CFO money-produced music, switching to tracks from the music production company DJDTP, more commonly known as the pseudonym Def Rebel, whom they don't have to pay as many royalties to. And now, following a rumour that WWE won't be continuing to use Def Rebel music once their contract expires, the company has listed the job posting for a new director of music. Don't fire up your iPod minis just yet though, as it's been pointed out that the job is more of a strategic and administrative role, rather than a composer one like Def Rebel, CFO Money, or Jim Johnson had. Although whoever gets this new job might be in charge of finding Def Rebel's replacement and potentially start using mainstream music for more wrestler themes, as has been reported. Fightful claims that there's been a lot of frustration behind the scenes from WWE wrestlers at the Def Rebel themes, with many being negative on their current entrance music. One joked that all the members of Judgment Day, Damage Control, and Seth Rollins all had very similar sounding music over a several-year period, which would be very witty. Judgment Day's theme wasn't produced by another band called Alter Bridge. Apparently, many wrestlers were never explicitly told why their themes were changed from their usually much better CFO Money ones, even though they had asked. Talent claimed to have never actually had any direct contact with Def Rebel, which is very different to the more collaborative approach Johnson had or Mikey Ruckus in AEW, who work with the wrestler to come up with a theme that fits their character, which is pretty important when WWE has been sometimes focusing more on entrances than matches. Even people on the WWE production team are unhappy with Def Rebel's output, telling Fightful they want a more motivated and personalised approach. And the NXT roster is annoyed too, this time with their TV broadcaster rather than a music producer. Since NXT moved to the CW station earlier this month, they haven't had the luxury of an overrun. Their broadcast feed will get cut off bang on 10 PM Eastern for the evening news. NXT have managed to hit the timings over the last few weeks, even if it's occasionally been a struggle, like CM Punk having to rush through the final moments of the Trick Williams vs Ethan Page NXT Championship match on the debut episode. Tuesday 22nd show closed on the Australian indie wrestler Delta making her debut in NXT under the new name Zariah. You might not know that though, as the feed was cut off in some parts of the US before she turned up. Fightful Select is reporting that while WWE officials had previously confirmed with their satellite providers that NXT would stay on air until 10 PM exactly, there was actually a 20-second delay in some markets, meaning that places like Orlando, the very home of NXT, had the show cut off before Zariah's debut. Apparently people backstage were very upset. Everyone who runs or has a say in the show was pissed. Now here's a word from this video's sponsor.
Oh, what a brilliant day, huh?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, well, well. Looks like you boys done come a cropper of me, the whole way cowboy.
Wait, you're not Luke. I thought you were Luke.
Wait, you're not Pete. I thought you were Pete.
No, I'm Pete.
Exactly. I am not Luke. Yeah, I'm an entirely different man.
Yeah, you see, we haven't even got the same face. Also, he's wearing a hat.
Yeah, and he's not wearing a hat.
That's the exact same thing! And you both like Godzilla movies!
Yeah, that's because Godzilla's awesome.
Yeah, you Philistine. Now anyway, your boy here owes me hallway tax.
What, me? Hallway tax?
That's right. $500 smackaroos.
Quick, what about Pete? What am I going to do?
Quick, Luke! Just download the Dave Banking app.
What?
Yeah, Dave is the banking app that's leveling the financial playing field. And when you download Dave, you can get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less. No credit check, no late fees. It's part of Dave's extra cash account. Advance the money you need with no interest and then settle up later. Download Dave today at dave.com/wrestle. That's dave.com/wrestle. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Eligibility criteria and instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve, member FDIC.
Wow, that's amazing.
It sure is. Now pay up, little man.
Wait, is that a banana?
It sure is. And it's loaded.
Oh, we better do something. We need to get out of here.
Okay, look! A new Ghostbusters film!
Oh, I love the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, me too. Where is it?
No, come with me, Luke! Come on!
Where are we going? Where are we going? The Ghostbusters!
Where is it? Oh, I can't. Oh, maybe he's mistaken. Oh. Damn. That bait done fooled me again.
Endeavour, WWE's parents' parent company, so their grandparent, was a bit of a hodgepodge of ideas. It's a talent agency, a media rights owner, a film and production company. They put on live events, a talent agency, they're a ticket seller, it's an ad agency, it's a hospitality company and a talent agency. It does so many things, you probably didn't realise I put talent agency in there 3 times. But with TKO, the spun-off company that contains the UFC and WWE, they created something focused. We do combat sports, sometimes legitimate, sometimes predetermined, and the stock market valued their well-defined mission highly. But it's been about a year, so let's chuck in a load more IP. TKO have announced they've acquired On Location, a sport events company, IMG, a sports content services firm that does everything from selling media rights to making your digital content, and, most excitingly of all, the world's premier bull riding league, Professional Bull Riders, which, coincidentally, is where your mum competes. So TKO will no longer be Endeavour's combat sports-focused division, as its name implies, but potentially a place for all of Endeavour's sports IP and services. Although, also not, as Endeavour still has their basketball and esports IPs EuroLeague and E-League. But does it really matter if we get a WrestleMania crossover match of Bron Breakker trying to spear an actual bull from the Bull Riders thing? First, he'll probably take on Jacob Fatu, after their brief confrontation on Monday's episode of Raw, which got arguably the loudest reaction of the show. According to WrestleVotes Radio, there was heavy internal praise on how well this came off, especially reaction from the live crowd in Philadelphia. We were told that numerous people backstage enjoyed it and were almost stunned by how big of a reaction these two men got. We can say that there is nothing in the short-term plan between the two right now, but the feeling is creative that they certainly stumbled onto something big. There is a bigger match WWE could do in the meantime. Controversially though, it involves intergender wrestling. Bar a few exceptions, like Baron Corbin hitting the end of days on Becky Lynch in 2019, a spot that Corbin said got him sent death threats. WWE have stayed away from any man-on-woman simulated violence. Women-on-men spots, however, are fine, like Ripley beating up Dominic Mysterio. But the best conclusion to that storyline is an actual Rhea versus Dominic match, where Dom can hit Ripley back, which is why some are pitching it backstage in WWE. According to WrestleVotes, there is a real desire on some level of creative to do this match before that angle fizzles out. But others backstage are resistant to the idea, as WWE could receive a backlash for portraying a man laying his hands on a woman. Do you think WWE should do a Dominic versus Rhea singles match? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'll be replying to people from out of this Intercontinental title botch. Gunther and Cody Rhodes will fight in a champion versus champion match at Crown Jewel to win the gaudiest of belts. But according to WWE's own recently released match graphic, the champion versus champion is actually undisputed WWE champion Cody versus Intercontinental Champion Gunther. While Gunther did hold the IC belt for a very long time, he is the World Heavyweight Champion now. So WWE's graphics department probably wants to update that render file. But when you're hot, you can make mistakes like that and it not even matter. For AEW right now, who have severely cooled over the course of this year, Will Ospreay could have match of the century with a 2160 balcony dive flip finish and it not shift out of the low 600s. WrestleNomics is reporting that Wednesday's episode of Dynamite drew 637,000 viewers and a 0.19 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic. This is slightly up from last week's 633,000 viewers, but also slightly down from last week's .20 rating. This is the 4th consecutive week that NXT has beat Dynamite. NXT's move to the CW, at least initially, has increased viewership massively for the month of October, thanks to help from main roster stars and AEW taking a big hit being moved from its usual slot to Tuesday 8th. While there's a story behind this or that, in cold hard numbers, NXT has drawn 831,000 more viewers than AEW's total this month. NXT has performed 36% better than AEW in October. This has led to low ticket sales for AEW's live events, with this Saturday's Collision show in Cedar Rapids, Iowa reportedly doing atrocious ticket sales, according to the Wrestling Observer. Looking at WrestleTalk's status post for the event, the show has only shifted 1,253 tickets, with 458 still available, meaning over a quarter of seats are still empty, despite this being a very scaled back capacity. At full capacity, the venue can fit in 9,000. While this is a Collision show, for comparison, at the start of the year, the Wrestling Observer laid out the warning figures for live event attendance for Dynamite. 4,000 is fine, under 3,000 is pretty bad, under 2,000, however, is WCW 2000 attendance levels of bad. So it's no surprise that 2 long-running AEW TV shows are expected to be cancelled soon. According to Fightful Select, while Dynamite and Collision had been renewed with WBD for the very profitable 3-year deal, AEW is not planning to film Rampage or Battle of the Belts in 2025. Which kind of makes sense when the last Battle of the Belts episode last Saturday was main evented without a belt on the line. But this could be a good thing. One problem since AEW launched Collision and upped the amount of pay-per-views every year is an oversaturation of content. Scaling back on TV could really focus Tony Khan into making Dynamite and Collision the best it can be. Oh yeah, we're back, baby. Just one more thing. Apparently AEW are instead going to focus on exploring other possibilities with additional content, which is said to be their new idea of Shockwave. Swerve Strickland recently let slip that this new program, Shockwave, being on Fox, was pretty much in the bag when he didn't know he was being recorded. Although Fox does reportedly have interest in wrestling content now they no longer have SmackDown, this deal is not yet done. Who will win the gaudiest of belts in Saudi Arabia? Watch mine and Luke's Crown Jewel predictions now in 3 words or less / viewer.